Hello, hello, most beautiful stars. Hello, hello. I am Courtney, host of Stars of the Morning Light. Happy Friday night, everybody. Oh, it's good to be here. And I know Scotty Boy is in the house. Good to see you, Scotty. I'm sure some others will funnel through. This is a Ask Me Anything hangout session. Everybody's in the chat having a good old Friday night together. Um, these are random. All of my stuff is now random because I'm random. Can you believe it's already going to be June of 2026? Oh my goodness. Oh, right? Who else out there is feeling that this has gone by extremely fast? We knew it was going to happen. We knew it. But to stop and pause and go, holy cow, June. I don't even know what happened. So if you are in the chat, ask a question. And beloveds, you can really ask me anything. And I literally mean that. You can ask, uh, I can't even come up with what to ask for because it's really anything. You can ask me anything. You can ask me about me. You can ask me about metaphysics. You can ask me about spirituality. You can ask me, I mean, anything. I don't care what the topic is. That's what we're doing. We're just hanging out. We're getting to know one another. Um, it's interesting. I'm thinking Shelly and I might record a show together because Shelly over the years has really understood and developed because she gets a reading every month. She's a Patreon member, and there's a tier that you can get a reading every month. And over the time of working with Shelly, Seeker of Truth too, she'll probably pop in. I don't know. She may not. Um, she has really learned how to utilize asking questions. And I don't know how to necessarily like teach that. Like, the concept of asking anything. Um, but she does. She know because she had to go, she went through it. She went through, oh no, no, no. If you start asking the right questions, right? Isn't that the old saying in many stories? You're not asking the right question. You're not asking the right question. So that's why I kind of started this. And I think that's why Shelly and I might also record something because she understands the benefits now of asking questions. So I'm gonna pop in my little. I think this is my last hard candy that I received from Northern California. I think this is my last, so I'm gonna have to reach out to them folks and say, "Hey, I really like them hard candies." But that's also part of this is I tend to be more free, I guess. I'm always free. I don't know how to not be free. Hmm. I yeah. In my mind just then I went back to all the way. I've been saying it since I was a teenager. Like I don't think I know how to not be free. That's just my personality. So if you have questions, if you're tuning in, maybe I've lost people along the way. I'm sure they will show up. This was starting at 8:30, which is such an odd time, isn't it? Such an odd time to start something at 8:30. They're watching somebody else right now. They are making dinner. They are running their errands. Let's see, what time is it on the West Coast? And 8:30. Oh, it's 5:30. It's 5:30 out in California world. Whew, that's a bit difficult. I Isn't that odd, the time zones? It's all based on the sun, right? But there's a lot of you in California, so I know you'll probably watch this later. I don't really have anything to jump into with tonight. Um, I usually try knowing that it's going to take a while for people to come on through. And I also didn't share this too much on social media. Um, I just wasn't in the mood for that. I'm rarely in the mood to share things. But I do. I do. I'm out there. I'm out there in the social media world. So, I hope you are well. I'm gonna draw a card because I really didn't have. I try to come up with something in case for like this, waiting for people to come in, and they'll mosey in soon. Um, that I can talk about in the meantime. I don't really have anything. I don't have much to talk about. I am going to try to record another Edgar much sooner than later. I know that's been very sparse lately, and I apologize for that. But I also think I want to get into more of breaking down. Um, I don't even want to say Christian beliefs. I want to break down more of like the scene in comparison to how things are taught in today's world. Um, things are taken out of context and it's in for manipulation and hierarchies and all sorts of stuff. It's interesting when you look at history and all of, I mean, especially when Rome started, conquering and taking over everywhere. The different tactics of manipulation that they were able to use based on really keeping up with the Joneses, how you were perceived by others is like staggering to for me to even try to comprehend. The that has always been something that is just so foreign to me. I tried doing it once. I will tell you, I did. When Brad and I first moved to the South, you know, a stranger in a new land. And so we moved down here late of 2015. I felt like a stranger in a new land. It's there are cultural differences, and there's cultural differences all over the states. I mean, the East Coast is not the same as the Midwest, and the West Coast, and the South, and I mean, and every state is really different. I love when foreigners come and visit and realize that, and they're like, "Oh my goodness, so much variety." So when we moved to the Chattanooga area, it, pardon me, I'm going to take that out again. Um, when we relocated to Chattanooga area in late 2015, uh, I had gotten a job at a prison, by the way, and that prison was damn near a 2-hour drive, different time zones because of the mountains. I don't know why whatever. Honestly, I thought because listen to my naive self. I was thinking that I was gonna be able to do some good. Yeah, they don't care. They do not care. But I had had so many friends that had gone to prison that I was like, "I care about all people," "I care about everyone." We're all criminals. Some just act on it and some don't, right? Some see crime as an opportunity. Yeah, that's the main difference. So I thought I was gonna work there and do good, and I only lasted like 4 months, folks, because I realized very fast that no, they don't care. It's all money. It is all money. It's just bodies in the beds. That's all it is. It is an horrible system. Most of our systems are horrible, by the way, here in the US. It's all about money. I don't care if it's nonprofit, prisons, education. I've worked in all of them. It's all about the money. uh, medical, it doesn't matter. So at that time, though, I was struggling big time with like the cultural differences. But I thought it was just because I was in a prison. I thought it was just okay, no, it's this place, right? No, that was not the case. The case was is that I didn't understand what was going on around me, especially with women. Women were able to use dialogue that I just didn't even understand. And so when I left there, I then got another job and I was teaching at a private institution. Um, And that was the first place I ever got fired from, and it was really cultural stuff. It was really well, that and some other things, but it was very much cultural stuff, so then I had to start studying, like, wow, what's the difference? There's some big differences, but while I was teaching there, I knew that something was not I kept feeling like something was not right with me. And so I tried to do like, okay, I'm gonna keep up with the Joneses. I have to present myself a certain way. I have to do this. I have to do that. Like I kept trying to prove. I kept trying to do. It didn't work because I can only do that for so long apparently before I pop, before I burst. And it was a great learning experience, as in, I had never done that before. I had never tried to be something that I wasn't until then. And so I do think I needed that pocket of time to be like, yeah, that's not for me. But then to go back through history and think about how that has been a form of like manipulation on the populations for so long, as in how do you appear to others, and then to use scriptures to even enforce that is wow. So to go back to what I was saying, as in, I really do want to do that as well. There's always so much that I want to talk about here at Stars of the Morning Light, but I think right now, for the time of most people stepping in or out of something, becoming more aware, becoming more accepting of themselves, which is beautiful. Um, Maybe accepting that they're not gonna try to play the game of keeping up with the Joneses or presenting some kind of mask that's not them, whatever it may be, because it's all happening. It's all happening right now. That maybe that's what I would like to, focus on for just a little while, and like I said, I will get back to Edgar Casey. Eh, here's my real truth with that. I'm gonna tell you all my truth with that. I have been debating if I should put out predictions. And so I wanted to try to use the Edgar Casey stuff to just deliver it that way. Like, here you go. But his materials, yeah, there's stuff I will tell you, there's more quality material like in his stuff about Atlantis than really in his like predictions of the future. But some of his resource materials um does have that. And so I don't know. I'm feel like I'm being pulled to start. I don't wanna do the monthly Akashic readings anymore, but just start generalizing, saying like, "Hey, X, Y, and Z could happen. ZYX2 could happen also." Like, so many variables, so many potentialities. Um, and I do wanna start getting back to Edgar, but I might kinda shift it a little bit into bringing it really truly into now like I wanted to. So anyways, any questions of those who are listening? Any questions to those who are listening? The card that popped out, by the way, everyone, is number 31, Magic. The frequency of magic supports our intrinsic ability to grow and expand beyond this moment, to move towards possibilities and expressions that are as grand and as profound as we can imagine. All that is required is our belief in their manifestations. Magic. Yes, magic. I'm pulling from our sacred geometry deck. The frequency of magic. I just held up the card. There is your magic symbol as far as geometry. So the other day on social media, somebody had posted, "Hey, uh, something about is manifesting the same as magic? What do y'all think?" And there were a lot of good responses about intentions and words and blah, blah, blah. And I chimed in with how we're manifesting all the time, all the time. See, beloveds, we're creators. You are a creator. You're a creator. You came here to create. Therefore, it's actually your birthright and you're living it. You are living it. That's why all of our lives are amazing. They're just absolutely amazing. If we really can accept, like, if we can acknowledge and accept, know, trust that with every breath we are manifesting, we are creating. We're creating everything in our little sphere. That's why all these sacred geometry cards, you know, they're nothing but little bubbles. Everything's little bubbles, down to the cellular level, down to our little spheres. Tons of little bubbles. Um, we're creating that though. Like we are creating uh the breath you breathe right now. Notice it. And if there's a thought attached to it, are you going to create that or not create that? I mean, that's the beautiful gift about this place. So we are actually manifesting all the time. We don't really necessarily have to like work at it. God, we had to get out of this whole concept of like, I got to work hard. I got to work at everything. If that's what you believe, all right, you toil. You toil. um that's what we're doing. We're manifesting all the time. So I responded in it with that. With every breath you're manifesting. And it takes the acknowledgement, the acceptance, the knowing, the trust of it to then have the responsibility of it, the authority of it. Once we can acknowledge and we can really wrap our head around it, we really understand it, that we are manifesting all the time, instantaneously manifesting. Well, then we can work with it and not against it. We can work with it to better ourselves instead of continuously receiving what we think we're not manifesting, right? And it's a shame that we've been taught so many things that are inaccurate. That's just how to put it, inaccurate. So if Scotty Boy is still here, which I don't know if he is, or if anyone's around, you can ask a question. It's 8:47. I really probably should have done this at 9. That's okay. That's okay. So then I answered in this long form for her, and then she got back and she was like, "Well, Courtney, what do you think magic is?" Okay, cool. Good question. For me personally, beloveds, magic, quote unquote magic, all magic is communication. Period. All magic is communication. Actually, everything is communication. I've said this a million times. I mean, everything is communication. A lot of people want to say all is energy. I'm with that. I agree. All is energy. But there's a reason why it said first there was the word, because it's communicating. Even if it was vibration that penetrated in the darkness, or light, sound, whatever you want to put it as, it's thought. And thought is words, and words is communication. So everything is some form of communicating. The cells in your body communicate with one another and, help your body operate. Your brain is communicating all the time with the rest of your body. We're communicating here. Societies grow and fall because of communication. Everything. I apologize, beloveds. I'm going to hold this up. This hard candy is like, I think it's half melted. That it just keeps going down the wrong tube. Let's put it that way. Kind of hard to talk and have it in your mouth at the same time. That's what she said. Oh, Scotty Boy just came in. He said, "Sorry, I was over at Lucky's channel. Grandpa Brian is in the hospital, got a dog bite infected." Oh no. Oh no. Scotty Boy just popped in. I didn't know Lucky was doing it at 8. Or whatever time Lucky was doing it. Okay. And I know they were gonna talk about dreams. Hmm. Let Real quick, all magic is communication. All things are communication, people. Sit with that for a minute. Sit with that for a minute. Scotty Boy, if you have a question, I can definitely get down with that. Ah, I had a hard candy in my mouth. I kind of started going down the wrong tube and had to stop. But I was talking about how all magic is communication. Everything is actually really communication. So back to how, regardless of how you see it, as there's the darkness, the void. And it could have been vibration. It could have been, which vibration is sound and light. So if you want to say sound, light, vibration, uh, it really is first thought or thought. That's why they say the word, because thought, word, communication. That is how we, that's how all magic works. That's how we manifest. That's how we do everything. It's how this whole system of operation works, is the thought, right? All is mind, but all is energy. So when we can put those two together and associate them as they're one, that means your thoughts, right? Thoughts become things. This is the easiest way to, put it into layman's terms. I'm not saying layman, but common terms. So everything is that. Everything is that. That's why everybody's all like, how you communicate with yourself and tell yourself affirmations, affirmations, how we communicate with others, but it's really thought. And so when we think about it, thought is creation, right? Thought is creation. The one element that is beautiful about creation itself. So all things in creation, all things that have ever been created from thought, has the underlining thread, energy thread of love. You cannot have creation without love. And very simply, everybody can just put that into their own context. Have you ever created anything? Anything? I don't know, a really good peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Anything. If you've ever created anything, you did it out of some form of love. People might say desire, no. Some people might say lack, no. There was a thread of love there. So that is what that everybody talks about, this universal love. Well, that's actually really just that's creation. That is the beautiful markings of creation. That's what does flow through everything, on top of all sorts of other energies, right? Because it's really simple to create matter from thought. People think it's not, but we think it's not because we live in such density. That's the difference. The only reason, um, we know that we're energy beings, we're light beings, however we want to put ourselves and describe the soul aspect, an energy being, but yet we try to say we're trapped in like these meat suits. Well, that meat suit of yours is actually just your thought. You chose it, by the way. So however big, small, in between shade of color you come in, you chose it, right? All it is the density here takes what you have already chosen and puts it into form. It holds it together. So then if we want to really learn alchemy and we really want to learn how you feed 5,000 people with 2 fish, that's what we have to get past, is this concept, the hardening of density. We have to become lighter. That's why everybody's focused on light being lighter. It's the same thing. It's really, they're trying to say the same thing, but some are taking it in this direction, some are taking it in that direction. But if that's what you want to do, You can always take a fish, break it down to the milliscopic little threads of energy and just multiply it and put it back together. See, that's what the great place, like this world, is the most dense out of all the spheres. This world is the most dense. But then think about that. That's awesome because then we can touch things and create things and do things and feed things and enjoy. And so that's it's and it's all in communication. You have to be able to communicate your thought to that solid object and or to the ether. You have to communicate your thought and be able to do it. It's the density that is what gets people confused. That's solely what it is. Yes, Scotty said love had to be in there somewhere. Love is the underlining thread in all of creation. It is. It is. And like I said, just think about it simply for anything that we've created. And like I said, I even brought it down to like a sandwich. When you created that beautiful sandwich that fed you and it was delicious because you were that hungry, that thread of love is in that creation. And what we really then as humans, so the thread of love is in all of creation. It's all in creation. For us humans, though, it really takes another, like, let's take it to another level of understanding. So, okay, let's just assume that we automatically just accept that, okay, love is an underlining current throughout everything in creation. Okay, let's just accept that and let's go to the next level. Okay, Courtney, you're telling me that density is my problem. Yeah, density is the problem as to why we think we can't. It's not so much because, people have been telling us we can't. That's, pish posh to that. That's not even a thing. It's more because we don't have an example because of the density. Because when we try, the density pushes back. When we try, it's too hard. And it's because of that. So, what then, let's say for us humans, what's beautiful about that is then we have to add a little layer of hope and action. Hope and action. So that undercurrent of love is present in all of creation, in all things. If we really want to manifest or create, instantaneously create, right? Instantaneous manifestation, then let's add some hope and action. Now, action does not mean, yep, and that means I got to work the next 40 years and save a bunch of money so I can build my dream house. That is not necessarily what I'm talking about there. Hope, by the way, hope, I did not know this until maybe 7 years ago or so. I did not know because it's not talked about how powerful it is. Hope is one of the most powerful things in all of the universe. I did not know this. So I'm sharing you that when I learned it, wow. Okay. Like to the point that, people think we come here to learn lessons and there's all this karma and blah, blah, blah. Do you know that oftentimes when we leave here and we're doing that life review aspect, we're not looking at what did I learn? What did I not learn? We ask ourselves often, how much hope did I have? How much hope did I not have? When did I lose hope? Yeah, hope is huge. Hope can do pretty much anything. Hope is massive. Hope is like the glue that actually brings that love thread and ties it into everything. I did not know how expansive and how massive and important hope was to all of existence, not just humans. So there you go, folks. Oftentimes, we're not sitting there going, oh, I learned this. I learned that. I learned this. I messed up again. How much hope did I have? Did I never let go of it? How much hope? Where did that hope take me? How did that hope get me to point A to point B? Did I love myself completely to gift myself the abundance of hope? So anyways, yeah, we ask questions like that compared to let's learn the same thing over and over and over again. Let's go through the same exact storyline, the same exact thing to keep doing it. And of course, everybody, that is just a trigger to remember, a trigger to remind you that you who and what you are. But even let's say, okay, it triggers you and you remember that. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Remember who you are. Remember how amazing and great and I can't even express how great you are. Remember that. Remember from your point of origin to now, the eons that you have existed. Remember that. That's wonderful. You're not going to do much with it if you don't have hope. Got it? It is that big. So, hope and action, as in the action could be just as simple as you're practicing. I'm going to take this fish and I'm going to break it down to the cellular level, all the way down to the finite strings of energy. And then I'm just going to multiply it. Practice, practice whatever it is that you need to do. Practice with your energy, right? Practice, rewiring your own mind if that's what it needs to be. Because remember, everything is communication, thought, everything is communication. So practice. That's what I mean by the action. And you practice with the hope attached to it. So hope plus action equals manifestation. I actually have that written down somewhere around here. I love all my little equations for life. So my favorite equation is knowledge plus experience equals understanding. And the more that you repeat that equation, knowledge plus experience equals understanding, the more you repeat that in the same, let's say, topic area of your life, right? It could be relationships. It could be just simple education that you put into demonstration, right? Whatever it may be. This is the whole learning lessons aspect. It then comes into understanding, which the more you repeat that in the same topic areas, wow, now you've gained wisdom. You can't just do it once. You can't just, oh, I've learned this, I practiced it, I got some understanding. I'm good to go. I got wisdom. No. Repeat, 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 repeat. So then the other equation that I love to live by is hope plus action equals manifestation. And that action could literally just be you have the thought, you speak the words, and you don't let go. Because there's your hope. Oh, thanks, Scotty. Scotty just said knowledge plus experience equals understanding. It does. It does. Knowledge without application doesn't mean much. You're going to hear a lot of it out here on the screens. You're going to hear a lot of it. Knowledge without application, experience, doesn't mean much. The experience has to be there because for us humans, we experience this life not just through our actions and our thoughts, but our emotions. That's how we get to the understanding. We understand things through our emotions. So it has to be applied. It has to be. And then the more we have understanding and we repeat that in the same context, then we have wisdom. And that's why I'm trying to always say, like, guys, you're not learning anything. Remember who you are because you've already done all of this. There's nothing new under the sun. Everyone has already done all these things. They're not learning anything new. And the reason I can say this, folks, is because when I've been in enough of other people's Akashic records that they really are doing the same thing. I call it I call it like karmic residue. We're literally doing the same thing over and over and over again. It might look different, It might have different characters, a little bit of a different plot line, a little bit of a different scenario, right? But in regards to the human emotion, the experience, the decisions made, we're really doing the same thing over and over and over again, and many people think it's so we can learn. What do we have to learn by doing the same thing over and over again? To not do it, right? Let's not do that. Well, we don't really acknowledge how to not do that until we acknowledge that we have that full understanding. And that's why people keep saying, I have to learn, I have to learn, I have to go through this, I have to learn. No, you don't. Acknowledge that you've already experienced so much. You've already experienced it all. That's where the memory comes into play. Remember that you have, and you can do different because now, if you really can look at the totality of all that you've done in all of your lives through your remembrance, well, then you will be able to acknowledge, yeah, I just keep doing the same damn thing over and over again. Where's the wisdom? Where's the understanding? Right? Where's the understanding? You'll understand. And then you won't do that. You won't do it. You'll start creating all anew because you'll know, "Oh, I was creating all this in the first place." It's that, hamster wheel. Well, hamsters aren't in a wheel because they're trying to learn. It's because they're not releasing themselves from the wheel. They're not getting off. That's it. Everyone that there's still those who say, I gotta work through my karma and I gotta heal my karma and all this jazz. It's almost as if they're still stuck in their victimhood when they could just um, get off that hamster wheel. But because they don't know any different, because they're not remembering that they've done the same thing over and over again, they're thinking it's new. They're thinking that that's something they have to rectify, that they have to fix. There's nothing to fix. There's zero to fix. There's nothing to fix. I can't think of a single thing to fix. That doesn't mean that I agree with everything. I don't. I can't think of a single thing to fix. Now, I'm not just talking about my life, I'm just talking about in all of creation. You know? When we really think about it as let's say we are a self-generating operating system. The entire totality of everything. Self-generating operating system. We're a self-generating system that we just keep going. We just keep going, and everybody knows this. We just keep going. We just keep going. How can there be anything to actually fix? Yeah, is horrible things will happen, horrible things have happened, but is fixing really the answer? I don't know if fixing is the answer, right? Um, so how is there anything to really fix when it's like, oh, we'll just self-generate again. We're just gonna keep generating. We're just gonna keep doing. We're gonna keep going onward and upward, onward and upward. So why would we waste precious creation time, precious creation abilities trying to fix something? Why don't we just create? Just create, right? Just create, have fun. Oh my gosh, Scotty, I think it's just you and me, darling. It might just be you and me. Oh, and Scotty said, what's a one-time fix anyway? Yeah, see? What's a one-time fix? That's exactly. Exactly. Wow, it's just me and Scotty. And it's only 9:09. See, I started this at 8:30, not thinking I don't know what I was thinking. What was I thinking when I did that? I don't know. Um, so if Lucky is on, he probably started maybe around 8. Um, so Grandpa Brian, and so anybody that's listening to this later, Lucky Stone 888, his show is on right now. and he was supposed to have a guest star, Grandpa Brian, uh, who I guess was bit by a dog and it's infected. I hope it's not his dog, Luna. I doubt that, but oh, Lucky is now taking over A7's time. Well, A7 is on at like 9. Oh, interesting. Okay. Oh, well, good for Lucky. Good for Lucky. Yeah. Yeah, I just found out about A7 like a week ago. So A7 was a lovely show called Andromeda 7 for anybody listening later. This is just me and Scotty hanging out in the chat. Scotty, do you have any questions, by the way? Oh my God, Grandpa Brian is actually live with Lucky from the hospital bed. Oh, well, shoot, dude, that's where everybody is. Okay. I wish I had known. Okay. Wow. And they're talking about dreams. They're talking about dreams. Hmm. You always ask that. Where do babies come from? Well, hell, Scotty, I just told you we're self-generating. Scotty always asks that. Where do babies come from? Oh my goodness. Okay, that's where everybody is tonight. They're seeing if Grandpa Brian's okay. All right, that makes sense. Yeah. Okay. Well, everybody. Well, I don't know. I'm surprised Shelly's not here. I didn't really have much to talk about, so I tried to fill in the blanks or fill in the spots. Um, so even do you have a topic, Scotty, that you would like me to ramble about? I can ramble about anything really, probably. I'm a rambling jack. Yeah, I haven't seen Shelly in a while too. I know she's doing stuff on other platforms and doing really and experiencing a lot of great stuff on those. So he said, "No, I'm good." He said, "I'm good. Scotty's good tonight." I'm sure you are. Well, shoot. Okay, that's where everybody is. And I don't know where any of my actual subscribers are as well. My other ones. It's Friday night, 8:30, kind of random. Uh Probably everybody's a bit worn out. This has been a very long season. I can't believe June is actually Monday. That's blows my mind how fast this is going. We knew it was going to be fast with the fire horse and a bunch of other stuff, but wow, so fast. Lots of things going. Okay. Wow. Hmm. I'm going to pick another card and close out with that then. Because, yeah, I rambled enough. There's stuff there to listen to. It's easier sometimes when there are questions or there's a topic I already had in my mind. So tonight I've talked about that I've always have felt free, except this one pocket of time that I tried to be what others wanted me to be, and that did not go over well. And I talked about magic being all communication, or magic is communication. I talked about manifesting. I talked about thoughts of maybe looking at different scriptures to help bring clarity to what has been manipulated. Um, oh, I know. Oh, thanks, Scotty. Thanks. Yes, I agree. Sometimes less ramblings and straight to the point. Yes. So I guess the straight to the point as I pick a card, the best straight to the point probably tonight was knowledge plus experience equals understanding. Repeat, repeat, repeat that within the same topic or context in your life. That understanding then becomes wisdom. And hope plus action, no matter how small or how big that action is, hope plus action equals manifestation. So there you go. Go manifest. Go create. Let's pick a card and then we will mosey on out. A card for this weekend. How about that? Card for this weekend. Oh, number 16, conception. The frequency of conception invites us to bring our consciousness to our origin. Remember, the place where everything in creation begins. It helps us to remember the infinite potential and possibilities of this space, what we can manifest through our own focused awareness and attention. Focused awareness and intention. I'm going to read that again. And that's a beautiful card. Conception. That's that thought that I'm talking about, by the way. What penetrated through the void, the vibration, the thought, word, however people want to describe it as. Here you go, conception. And you have that within you. And that's why we're here. That's why we chose to be here, to demonstrate that, to live that. That's so exciting. The frequency of conception invites us to bring our consciousness to our origin, the place where everything in creation begins. It helps us to remember the infinite potential and possibilities of this space. And what we can manifest through our own focused awareness and intention. Oh, you have this deck, Scotty? Awesome. Yeah, I'm so happy you have this deck. Yes. Okay. Okay, cool. So if you don't mind, I would like to share that. Scotty says, I'm putting hope in place of belief. Um, he's always hoped, but he kind of gave up on believing. Okay. Okay. If you want to know, Scotty, anything in this universal realm that is in your favor, would love for you to hold on to hope like that. Belief is tricky. And the only thing you do have to believe is in you. And I know that sounds horrible, but that is what pretty much all the scriptures say. This is why we might have to start going over them. Like, Christ never said, believe in me. In terms of how we're told today, it's believe in what I can do because you can do it too. That's what it is. So, yeah. Oh, you replaced believe with I feel. Oh, good job, Scotty boy. Good job. Okay, I read that wrong. Okay, so you replaced believe with feel. That's because you're looking for the experience, the adaptation to the knowledge. Yes. So if you feel it, it can happen. Yes. Oh, hi, Sophia. Well, hello, my dear. Good evening. Yeah. Oh, that's lovely. So you don't necessarily even have to see it. You just have to feel it, Scotty. Well, that's wonderful. That's wonderful. Yeah, and Sophia, it's been a long time since we've seen you, my dear. Yeah. You got any questions? I can hang out for a little bit longer if you have any questions. I started this at a random time at 8:30, and this is for us to all kind of hang out. And Scotty informed me about Uncle Brian, so I'll have to check on him and see. He's telling me he's doing okay. Yeah, good evening. How have you been, Sophia? I hope well. I really do. I gotta get Sophia. Hey, darling, you should consider doing a Matrix Living episode with me. Yeah, you would be a wonderful guest for that. Yes. He's improving. Wow. Yeah, and you're rocking and rolling. Got it. Yeah. He's improving. How bad was that bite? Oh my goodness, Brian. I bet you. I wonder how long he went without treating it, you know? Oh, yeah, it's been a while since we hung out. Yeah, yeah, let's do it. Let's record a Matrix Living episode. Um, I am finding that, not everybody's able to do the whole computer screen record thing. Not in it like they don't know how. It's being in front of a camera. It's not easy for everybody. What, Scotty? Oh, hey, Shelly. Good to see you, my dear. I see you came in. Yeah, you're a little bit late, Shelly, but that's okay, sister. Um, okay, Grandpa is sorry, folks that are listening to this later. We are hanging out. This is what we do. We're a family here, you know. We're better together. So Grandpa Brian was actually in the hospital for days. Okay, so now I'm thinking like it turned septis on him, and he's okay. Okay, I guess I'll check in with Grandpa Brian. My goodness. Yeah, because they were supposed to do the dream video, I think last Friday or something. Oh my goodness. Okay. Scotty. Yeah, Shelly, you must have heard us talking about you because I was talking about you earlier. I think this is my last I gotta put this back in my mouth. My little last thing. Well, and if anybody's got any questions, because I've talked about some stuff, and Scotty was like, "No, it was good," because some of the stuff was, short and sweet. Short and sweet works. Yeah, short and sweet works. If there are any questions, and you can throw anything out there. Oh, that's what we were talking about, Shelly. As I mentioned, how you and me, that we might record about the value of asking questions, because you've learned how to really asked some stellar questions over the years. Because I think people need to it's not just like, "Oh, hey, ask me a question." That's like, "Oh," they can automatically think of something. So it's like, really, this is an opportunity, though, to ask anything. Oh, cool. Thanks, Shelly. Shelly says she's ready okay, she's ready. And Sophia seems like she'll be ready to record too. Good, good. Thank you. I highly appreciate. Thank you. Yeah. You two ladies always are really good with recording. Yeah, tell Neil we're sending him love as well. Let's go, spirit. Let's go. Yeah. Yeah, if Neil's got a question, Shelly, Sophia, Scotty. Scotty is always like, I don't Scotty asks the same question every time, where are babies from? Well, shoot, I'll have to check in with Brian. I hope he's fine. I'm sure he is. You all are telling me that he's doing well. And happy Friday night to everybody rolling in. Happy Friday night. So Brian was recording from the hospital bed. Jeez, that's a trooper. Good man. He was probably bored out of his mind as well. Just wait. Any questions? If you don't have a question, that's fine. Um, I love the fact that you all are here. Yes. Is that tomorrow night? Is tomorrow the 30? What is the date? Oh my god, I don't even have the right calendar in front of me. Is the full moon tomorrow? Sophia, she would know. She knows. Yeah, this weekend for the most part. Yeah. Yeah, and it's the blue moon. I love blue moons. Don't you? And it's a big one. Isn't this one is in Sagittarius, isn't it? Something like that? Or um, the moon and I um I teach moon manifesting, and it's a very strenuous curriculum, by the way. I've learned that over the years that it's strenuous for people. Um, or it's just a lot. It's a lot of stuff that's very new and unfamiliar to them. Now, for me, because I've been doing, I mean, the moon first called to me when I was 17. I was working at Denny's, in high school. I was working at Denny's at night until, I worked there 6 nights a week until like 2 in the morning. And oh my goodness, it was such a cold February. So this would have been like the February of 98. Yeah. Yeah, February of 98. It was freezing in Chicagoland, freezing. It was just so cold. I will never forget that cold. It was so cold that year. And hence why I live in the South. Um, so I'm coming home from work and it's like 2:30 in the morning or something. And I get out of my car, and for some reason, something stopped me, and it's like maybe I saw something out of the corner of my eye, but I was so captivated by the light shining off the snow. And I'm like, where is all that light coming from? you know, it was 2:30 in the morning, folks. And I looked up and I just looked at the moon, and it was so huge and bright, and it felt like it was just like 12 feet away from me. It felt like it was right there, and just shining and beautiful. And she just started talking to me. And prior to that, maybe a few months earlier, uh, I got in a book by, gosh, I want to Raven Silver Raven, very known writer in the Wiccan world. Is it Raven Silver Raven? Oh goodness, I don't remember now. Um, and I never even opened it. So it's like you get the book and it's just sitting there like everybody else, right? And man, that moon was calling me so much. And then she started talking to me. And for me, it was Diana. It will always be Diana. Um, a lot of people, it's a lot of other characters or goddesses, but mine was always Diana. She introduced herself as Diana. So I was like, cool. I After I was so captivated that I think I stood there for a while and until the chill caught me again of like, oh God, it's freezing out here. So I went back inside and I knew in that book that there was a section about working with the moon. And so I read that before I went to sleep. And that started well, I was 17. That started a very few decades, let's say, of working with her and being with her that now I teach it, but in my personal life, I don't even need to like really pay attention to what's this and do that and blah blah blah. No, her and I, we go. We go. You know, we just go. But that's because of decades of communication. Going back to what I said at the beginning, all magic is communication. All magic is communication. Period. period, right? So when like true trust and sincerity and partnership has been established for decades, um a lot of the ritual aspect doesn't need to apply. And that's, I guess I should always tell people these little stories about my past. Maybe I should share these a little bit more often, because then people would understand where I'm coming from with the words that I'm saying. As in, I say these things not because I didn't start with rituals, not because I didn't start with learning and then applying the experience, right? I just got a lot of time doing it, and doing it consistently, always doing it, never stopping, because I have that ultimate hope. So it's a little bit different. It's the relationships, right? All magic is communication, and everything is really about relationships. So instantaneous manifestation, yes, you can do it. You can definitely do it. Um, so yeah, that's I've been doing that for a while. So I don't even know what this moon is. I just realized that it's gonna be June. Like, and then I realized, oh my gosh, what happened to May? Where was May? Where was April? I don't even remember April at all. Okay, it is in Sagittarius. That's what I was thinking. It had to been in Sagittarius. Oh, a full blue moon in Sagittarius. Mm. Headed into like a choice month of June. I hope everybody did like a really good May review of like, what did I experience in May? What did I Who was around me? Who showed up? What did I experience? What was being reflected back at me? What gave me those feelings, either triggering me or let me feel all warm inside? What were the experiences in May that were sometimes amplified for the majority, for us to identify what to keep and what to let go of? May was a very impactful month for grand amount of awareness. June is going to be more of like an experience, more of a choices based on the awareness that we just received, but sprinkled in with some different experiences. The emphasis will be on choice, though. So it's interesting that it's going to be in Sagittarius. Not so interesting, it's usually, but what I'm saying is, you know, the Archer. I mean, folks, we really do have to start making decisions. We really do. And decisions like how I started at the top of the hour here, of not based on placating society, not based on placating 3D at all, not even the density. We really got to start making decisions. And so these beautiful nuance of the power of choice in June will be able to amplify uh, between now through really 2028. And then you're going to have another big round of that, a very big round by that time. I mean, if you haven't made the decisions by then, um, it could come back on you. Let's say it that way. So we really do need to start base for what's best for ourselves. Really, I mean, really, truly, and that full love of acceptance of self, and based on what's best for ourselves, the others around us, others as a whole, what have you. So, Sagittarius. Hmm. Oh, awesome. I like Sagittariuses. Trust me, I love hanging out with them. They're great, and I like all the attributes of Sagittarius, except except um Sagittarius can have that fire element that if it wants to just start shooting daggers, it'll start shooting, right? It's not just the archer of, let's get my target, I'm gonna shoot at that target, right? I'm gonna make that choice. I'm gonna finally decide I'm gonna shoot. No, it can just start throwing some daggers. That it's fire. If nobody's really paying attention, a lot can be thrown on that fire, and then all of a sudden everything's ablaze. And so there is also the potential of some of that stuff anyways this June as well. This June will be choices based on what we're witnessing, right? Last month was a whole lot of like kind of more what we were experiencing personally. Who's my team, you know? Who are my homies? Who's with me? Um what am I about? What do I really care about? What still hurts me? Like, what are these layers to my onion that I still actually have to heal and look at? I thought I did, but whoa, that's right there. And that was a whole lot of May. This June is going to be June of 2026 is going to be more external, as in we're going to be making decisions, taking that awareness, but now making decisions based on not just what we experience, but what we're witnessing a lot. And with witnessing, and especially this June, we might, I don't know, see some, some of those fiery elements of Sagittarius leading into that time frame. And beloveds, this year, like I'm saying, like, this year is really important, really important. Some would emphasize that from 2026, it's really leading us into 2032. I am trying to it is. I'm not don't get me wrong, it is. I am trying to say that, there will be another extraordinary round of very similar energies in 2028, much more advanced, much more extreme, that, like I'm saying, if you haven't shit and gotten off the pot by 2028, you're gonna. So, why don't we just start slowly doing it now? Why not? What else do we got going on? So oh, yeah, are you talking about Sophia was probably talking about the moon. Yeah. Yeah, she's telling everybody how to do it, yes. Sophia's wonderful, everyone. Um, yeah, Sophia just said Sagittarius is wild if unbalanced. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about, sister. Isn't like okay, so I'm always I always laugh because I'm fire. Well, I'm a Leo sun. Um And so, me and other fires, we can, being a Leo, um, like, I'm cool with them. They're fine, except exactly what Sophia said. If they are unbalanced, like, Aries can make the whole like, a whole thing into a flippin' dumpster fire within, like, just moments. And then everybody's too afraid to go to this dumpster to put the fire out because holy crap, Aries. And then guess who always has to walk up and put that fire out? Um, Sagittarius can be the same way, but it's got a different, it's a different feel to it. And man, yeah, when they get spunky and they're out of balance and they feel off all fiery, oh, mm, I also have an issue, with then having to be like, "Who you talking to like that?" So, because 'cause I'm a Leo. Like, "What fire are you talking to?" I'm a very controlled fire, everyone. Fire that's like, "Yes, we do have to burn this patch of woods. We do have to burn this. We do have to burn that." Yeah, okay. Sophia just put in the chat, she said, "In Nordic tradition, male entities are connected to the moon and females are connected to the sun." Right on, sister. I wish more people had that. We gotta get you on here talking just about Nordic aspects as well. Um, uh, yeah, and most people don't know that in very, very ancient, like Egypt time, actually, you can't even call it Egypt, but that region of life area, um, uh, they're actually the moon and the sun were both female. Neither one of them were male. No, neither one of them were male. And then it became like the Nordic of the female was the sun and the male was the moon. And then eventually, much, much, much later, it got flipped. So I still tend to call the sun a she. Um, I see them both as female, not as male. Not saying we don't need a male, but that's not necessarily the nuance of them. Ah, oh, cool. Thanks, Sophia. Yeah, I would love to talk to you about Nordic stuff. I know enough to get by, but it wasn't it's interesting because everybody would probably think so. My husband actually was way more into Nordic stuff, than I ever was. Uh, that's probably why he married a Viking. I'm just joking. Um, that is my ancestry though. That is. That's why I am the way I am. Uh, Scotty says, yeah. Oh, okay. So Scotty said that he always thought that the moon was equal to emotions, emotions is female energy, and that the sun was male, like he shines, and the earth grows from the female energy. Hmm. Well, really what it is a trinity. So however you need to look at a trinity, and when I say trinity, you could see it as sun, earth, moon, right? Sun, moon, earth. That's a trinity. There's a ton of trinities, by the way, a ton of trinities. It's not just, but if you really want to see it that way, because they think, Scotty, even they say like the natives here, right? The natives here would say Father Sky, right? Father Sky, Mother Earth. Well, their son, depending on the stories, depending on the tribe, depending on the time, even our natives, the moon could be masculine and the sun could be feminine. It kept kind of interchanging, but it's because of what aspect and also what kind of story are we telling? Ah, Sophia said, yeah, the sun is soul, moon, mana. Yeah. It all depends, folks, and that's the thing. That's why listen to your stories, read your stories, whatever you wanna do with your stories, because 'cause we're really looking at the attributes of the energies, and so, when it really comes down to it, how is one more masculine or feminine to another? Because we all have masculine and feminine within ourselves, and we're just representations of them, right? We're just carrying out the representation of them. So if we have it within, so do they. So that's where I so many stories are, yes, yeah. That's why so many stories are uh either very similar or you might see these little, oh, that's flipped. The moon is masculine, right? Well, it depends on what time, what tribe. Like I said, in ancient Egypt, the sun was female. So, and that's what we have to, yeah, mm, yeah. Are you saying Manu? Oh, that's Scotty. Oh, Scotty is saying, um, mana in Hawaiian is life force, the power of spirituality. Yeah, that's beautiful. Life force, the power of spiritual that okay, so life force. Like I was talking, Scotty, that thread of love, that one simple current that runs through all of creation of that is love. You cannot have creation without that thread of love, right? There'd be no reason to create. Uh that is that life force that you're talking about. That's that life force that you're talking about. Um, because it's like I said, you wouldn't have creation without that. Good night, Scotty boy. Have a good weekend. Yes, have a good weekend. Well, I hope those that came in had a good time. And if there is any questions from either Shelly or Sophia, have a good weekend, Scotty. Yeah, I forgot that people use that term a lot, life force energy. It's a great term. You ever heard of that company? There's a company called it's called Life Force, I believe. I believe that's the name of it. That they have figured out technology-wise how to from across the great pond, I think they're over yonder. They have this technology that can shoot positive energy beams to your location. So, like, if you wanted to be over your house for a month, because I don't know, your mother-in-law is going to come stay with you or something, whatever. You know what I'm saying? But you need your house to be full of a lot of positive energy. Now, yes, there's a lot of different techniques that you can do that. You can do that without buying something from a company. But I will say they run free trials. And it is actually very interesting, and then you might wanna purchase some, you can purchase 3 months, like, "Hey, get me through the winter months," the deep winter, if you're not a winter person, where they beam this energy to you, and we've done it here, Brad did it. Brad's really into all that stuff, man, he is so into it. Um, we did it a few years ago, and you can tell a difference. You can absolutely tell a difference. And you definitely gotta drink more when they're doing it, but everybody's gotta drink more water anyways. Um, you definitely can tell a difference. I was shocked. I was shocked because 'cause I'm thinking, "What kind of technology?" But it's not like everything is technology, you know? We're technology, we just don't think we are because it's carbon-based technology. The hell? Drives me crazy. Um I mean, don't you think that you are the most beautiful, complex system? Like, we still don't even understand the whole human body and mind and subconscious. Like, we're still learning all this stuff about the body and the energy and all. Do we not find ourselves to be the most high tech, carbon based being? Like, we're fascinating. We're amazing. Um, but it's because of the density, right, that throws people off thinking we've talked about density a lot tonight. So, life force, you can look it up. They will beam a light over some kind of energy to your location, and it works. It works. I could tell the difference. Brad could tell the difference, and I definitely could feel it and knew they were doing it. It wasn't just like some posy type of scheme. Like it was actually you could feel it. So for those who don't know how to do that naturally, or as Shelley's probably thinking, just put a pyramid up over your house. Just use a pyramid, which is what I teach. but or any other modality. For those who don't know how to do that, it works pretty well. It really does. So kudos to that company. All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, have a great night. Sophia and Shelly, thanks for coming and have a great weekend. And it was good hanging out with everybody. Um, I wish, yes, pyramids work wonders. Yes, they do. I wish everybody a good weekend. I hope Grandpa Brian heals much faster and better and in a loving way. I'm sure there's a lot of people sending him a great amount of healing. So, once again, hope. So, good night, everyone. I'll be in touch with both of you ladies about recording because, yes, yes, that sounds marvelous. Good night, everyone, and have a great weekend. And if you're catching this later, thanks for hanging out with us. Cheers. Bye, folks.